Who wants to do small things? Who yearns to leave potential untouched? Who, in later years, wishes they had lived a life more mediocre? No one. But doing great things can seem daunting. Years pass, grand plans gather dust. One student organization, though, helps to make dreams a reality and thinks of their target audience as partners. Wants them to feel secure and safe. Free to let their hearts race and their minds wander.
Enactus, University of the Free State, works this way across our province. Our 3 campuses have a single goal: to inspire excellence and transform lives. Yes, we deal in personal development, social entrepreneurship, and sound business models, but we also factor in hope, ambition, success, and strong family values. It's something we've been doing for over 15 years, and it is something we plan to do for generations to come. This year, our 7 legacy-inspired projects have empowered 99 beneficiaries, which have indirectly impacted 653 lives. But today, we're going to share with you 3 of our inspiring flagship projects.
There is no other love like a mother's love for her child. With these words, I introduce to you our first initiative, the Team Spirit Project, based in the community of Mulakwekwe in the Eastern Free State, Kwakwa.
This is research conducted by UNICEF. And after conducting our own, we found that there was a much larger problem within Kwakwa. In September 2015, during one of our community engagement site visits, we were introduced to the Team Spirit Care Center.
The center caters for 37 vulnerable children and orphans. Our initial needs assessment indicated that they were struggling to meet the needs of these children as they depended highly on donations. As a result, they could not afford pre-grade R education. Despite the painful side effects of ARVs, these orphans frequently had to bear the pain of consuming the drug on an empty stomach. Memufukeng, their founder, had given up everything, including her home and late husband's taxi business, to feed and shelter these children. Despite all her sacrifices, it was just not enough.
The inspiring story of Team Spirit Care Center was our call to action. We brainstormed livelihood strategies and identified 3 simple yet impactful interventions that would speak to the social, financial, and human assets of the orphans as well as that of their caregivers.
Although we seek permanent measures, we could not ignore temporary solutions. To gain the trust of our beneficiaries, we donated toys, water bottles, and snacks with each and every visit to the center. And in our first intervention, the foundation-faced Bachelor of Education students in our team assisted the caregivers to develop an early childhood development program. This is an important step as it saves the orphanage 18,000 rands while ensuring the children are ready in time for formal education. Furthermore, we are in the process of incorporating kiddies entrepreneurship modules.
In our second intervention, in order to tackle the food insecurity, we started a nutritious vegetable garden. In our third and final intervention, in order to address the financial insecurity, we started a community baking project. In order to kickstart this process, we acquired a store with 7,300 rands, and the center can now provide the local community and school tuck shops with affordable, freshly baked goods.
We have trained the center's management team on corporate governance, financial controls to produce clean audits, and all Department of Social Development NPO guidelines. We then went on to assist the center to register as a public benefit organization with SARS. This will significantly increase the success of a CSI application such as the Clover Mama Africa initiative, which we have applied for and are currently awaiting feedback.
Through the assistance of a local IT company, Heaven Cloud, we launched a crowdfunding website and an SMS donation system. In order to further strengthen the brand, we designed a new logo and a letterhead, which includes the center's NPO registration number. And to ensure that they fully comply with the Department of Social Development guidelines, we secured PwC as their auditor.
We are in the process of assisting 4 children to register with Home Affairs and Social Development. This will increase the center's annual income by up to 38,400 rands, as each of these 4 children may receive a grant of 800 rand per month.
In concluding this project, we have used the UN Sustainable Development Goals to address the triple bottom line.
Socially, we are using our organic garden to combat hunger and improve the health of 37 children.
Economically, the center now saves up to 18,000 rands and can now earn up to an additional 38,400 rands in grants, while the bakery provides them with economic independence.
And environmentally, because we do not use chemicals in our organic garden, the biodiversity of the community is not offset. But most importantly, we restored hope and created sustainable smiles. Have a look.
Through the Team Spirit project, we have addressed the need of an effective ECD program and the nutritional needs of the orphans. But as they grow older, they need academic support, business coaching, and mentorship. We then need to ask ourselves thought-provoking questions. Could we really provide a solution for the holistic development needs of a South African learner?
Oh no, not again. This video tutorial is giving me outdated information and irrelevant information. What can I do, Siamo?
You don't know about Project I2CAN? It's a learning application that will give you everything you need. It's got past exam papers and their memos, and it will give you better video tutorials.
Even if I'm to pass matric, I don't know if I'm able to go to university because I don't have bursary forms.
It will give you those, and it will give you forms of application to local and international universities, and it will help you fill them in.
Wow, you're joking, right?
You know how your children are always on Facebook and asking for money to buy data? Imagine if they use this for educational purposes. Well, it's good to know that through our I2CAN project, they can.
When the Matrix 2015 results were announced, we noted a 9.7% drop in the national pass rate from 2013 to 2015. This amounts to almost 78,000 more learners who can neither access higher education nor obtain entry-level employment.
Then came the birth of the I2CAN application, an interactive online learning platform with a large database of tutor material, access to bursaries, and university application forms. We have also added an online entrepreneurship short course for teenagers, coupled with a practical idea pitching competition.
To ensure a constant and reliable supply of academic content, we have partnered with Brilliance Extra Classes, a student-run non-profit organization providing extra tutorials and career guidance. To improve the physical assets of the organization, we will provide BC tutors with 5 tablets and an HD camera to record all their tutorials.
Furthermore, to address the all-time low tutor entrepreneurship activity of 7% in the country, we have partnered with Entrepreneur Yourself Academy in creating the practical idea pitching competition, through which we're encouraging learners to start team cooperatives. The competition mirrors the Enactus experience, and winners earn the mentorship of our Enactus team and will be entered in the Students for the Advancement of Global Entrepreneurship, SAGE, South Africa Network, an international teenage entrepreneur competition active in 24 countries.
This year, we have received 70 applications and have shortlisted 14 co-ops who are currently undergoing our training. To cover startup costs, we have secured $5,000 from Ford Motor Company Fund and 36,400 rand from MTNSA Foundation.
Ladies and gentlemen, our application currently has 506 registered users and offers low-cost advertising space to uniform, stationery shops, and high school programs such as science expos and leadership camps. This ensures that the application is financially viable as it generates its own income. Our application is currently generating a monthly revenue of 1,458 rand 33 cents. That is the projected annual revenue of 17,500 rand, creating gross profits of 11,740 rand, as only 5,760 rand is needed to maintain the platform annually. The profits are then reinvested into the enterprise and used to purchase relevant hardware such as tablets and computers for the learners, and to fund programs such as science expos and extra classes in underprivileged communities.
This is a testimony from one of our PIPC training participants.
PIPC training, where we learned how to make a business model and other stuff related to accounting, like cost structure and stuff. And then what I learned is that you have to make sure that you and your customers are like you have a good relationship. I had to learn many things related to school, like I do business studies, so they were related, so I enjoyed everything. But then most importantly, I enjoyed making accounting, like direct and indirect cost, and then markups, selling price, and the costing, yes.
Environmentally, through this project, we're reducing our carbon footprint as less paper is used.
Socially, through this innovative project, we're improving the quality of education in our country.
And economically, through pop-up adverts, we're generating 17,500 rand to ensure that the application is economically sustainable.
We have looked after the orphans and we've taken care of the youth, but we wanted to do more. More for the 64,500 vulnerable women who suffer from gender-based violence in South Africa. According to the 2012 ACPS statistics, there are 176 reported incidents on a daily basis.
According to Levi's, 3,800 liters of water is used in the manufacturing of one pair of jeans, producing more than 33 kilograms of carbon dioxide. So with every Enactus national competition having 1,000 delegates, if you assume that every one of us had only one pair of jeans, that equals to almost 4 million liters of water, hence the urgent need to recycle.
Research shows that the main reason women remain in abusive relationships is due to financial insecurity, and that a woman in South Africa is 2 times more likely to get raped than learn to read or write. An economic cost study conducted by KPMG's Human and Social Services Division indicated that gender-based violence costs South Africa up to 42.4 billion rands a year.
In 2014, the local non-profit Towers of Hope launched a New Beginnings project, a program that supports 6 vulnerable women from abusive relationships and prostitution backgrounds. The NPO offered counseling, needlework training, and employment at their manufacturing and retail store.
But unfortunately, in March 2016, they had to close shop due to financial difficulties, which we found could be largely attributed to a lack of basic business management skills. I remember asking myself, what would become of the 6 ladies and other young women in the streets of Bloemfontein?
Despite producing low-cost, quality products, their low sales clearly reflected a flawed business model. Their lack of an aggressive sales strategy, coupled with high overheads due to the store being in the CBD, were detrimental to the business.
However, noting that the entity still owned all its necessary equipment and was offered free working space by interstate bus lines in the industrial area of Bloemfontein, all hope was not lost.
The free space offered by the bus line significantly reduced overheads, which presented an opportunity which we took with both hands. We drafted a turnaround strategy, leveraging their human and physical assets, and adjusted their business model to focus on aggressive sales rather than conventional marketing.
When they reopened their doors, one of the ladies, Mina, who had no experience, had to take the lead. We then carried out personalized trainings for her. The training included cost accounting, bookkeeping, and basic computer skills training. The training was conducted by our very own Enactus team and significantly fueled her human and social assets.
In the new model, we focused on securing bulk sales to organizations, thus taking advantage of economies of scale. We went on to procure supply agreements with residences on our campus, our very own nursing school, and a local nursing college. Furthermore, we went on to secure consignment agreements with local gift shops and restaurants.
To ensure the long-term sustainability of our project, we've effectively addressed the triple bottom line.
We have increased access to the market through consignment agreements, thus increasing economic opportunity.
Through our gene collection campaign, in just 3 months, we have saved 200,000 liters of water.
That is 6 women empowered and 5 fully rehabilitated through our project. But that is not all we've done. Through our recycling initiative Buyback, we're focused on working with a cooperative of 29 members who have collected 225 tons of waste.
And in our green energy source project, Beyond Disability Empowerment, we stand by the notion that no one is disabled, but rather differently abled, and our beneficiaries will now be able to earn an income beyond the government grant.
What you are witnessing is an example of what students can do, not what our university or sponsors can do, just students.
Because we believe being a university student is about discovering your boundaries and pushing them further.
And we have been taking active steps into improving lives and pushing our personal development boundaries further since 2001.
This year, 15 years later, we have expanded our legacy to the Kwakwa and South campuses of our university.
This year, we've contributed to the personal development of 48 students across all 9 faculties.
This year, 5 Enactus World Cups later, we have created 5 revenue streams through our 6 social projects and indirectly impacted 653 lives.
Invest in 7,320 hours of community empowerment. My name is Dina Officer, a BCom investment and banking student.
And my name is Patrick David Chirlele, an actuarial science student, ensuring that the 7 enterprises we have created and supported this year take low calculated risk.
I, Andile Poot, an investment banking student, banking on the future of 70 high school learners.
A law student, upholding the constitutional rights of 37 orphans and vulnerable children. I am Farai Mzungu.
An aspiring jurist representing more than 64,000 defenseless women and children. I am Jose Musi.
And I am Ntibaleng Sefaza, a foundation-based Bachelor of Education student taking a lifelong pledge to grow our 15-year-old legacy of sharing knowledge.
And together, we are Enactus, University of the Free State.
A legacy rebirthed.
We shall now have 5 minutes questions and answers from the judges.
Thank you for the presentation. With regards to the orphanage, you say you have established an ECD center. And, when I look at an orphanage and the fact that we already have that component, I already see 3 major issues that they're dealing with. The fact that you need staff for the children's home, which on its own is taxing. The ECD center, which has got to meet minimum requirements from the Department of Education and Social Development. And the fact that you have to be taking care of orphaned youth, of orphaned and vulnerable children. My question is, do you have staff that actually attends to these 3 different units? And I'm also trying to understand how, in a sense, they've saved the 18,000, because I would assume that staff for the ECD center has to be trained staff that has gone through certain levels of training to be ECD practitioners, and therefore they need to be able to take care of the needs and ensure that the kids get life skills, literacy, and numeracy skills.
I'll clarify the financial part of the question together with that need of staff. If you look at our project, we've got vulnerable children. Basically what this entails is that some of the mothers in the community have to drop off their children at the ECT center or at the orphanage to go and look for casual labor employment. At certain days, they come back without having received the employment. So we've got those ladies who can then come into the center and actually then offer their services to actually volunteer and guard the children. In return, they're actually fed at the center, and their children are also fed at the center. So the staff issue in terms of taking care of the children is not really a major issue. In terms of the numbers, we looked at the average cost of caregiving and primary school, preschool, pre-grade R within the community, and we found that to be 250 Rand per month. And then timesing it by the number of children who are below the ages of 6 years old, well, basically should be within an ECD center, which is 6. And then it's times it then by the number of months in a year, will then give you that 18,000 Rand. Then I'll just give over to my colleague to answer the part about the registrations and so forth about the ECD.
The part about getting professional people to come and actually be involved in the center, we have talked to our lecturers on our campus, specifically the Qaqwa campus, because I'm from the Qaqwa campus. So they have suggested a few strategies, and currently the process of registering the center is still in process. So after actually registering the center, then our lecturers will help us in addressing the workers' issue of getting professional people to work there at the center.
Okay. Thank you. Two questions from my side. The supplier agreements that were negotiated for Towers of Hope, were any of the co-op members actually involved in that negotiation process, or did you do it on their behalf? And the second question is, with regards to the free business premises that you mentioned you'd arranged, do you have any kind of contract in place that talks about the duration that they have a free lease, if you will, for?
With regards to the consignment agreements, our team really took a prominent role in organizing those, especially within our campus, looking at the fact that we've got students studying nursing, and they actually needed a stationary bag so that they can actually be able to carry the nursing equipment and so forth. So that's a supply agreement that they have with the nursing school to supply those on an ongoing basis. It's an indefinite agreement as each and every nursing students are admitted onto our campus. Then with regards to other agreements, for example, like conference bags and so forth, the NPO Towers of Hope really went forward with that, together with the one lady that we have trained, Mina. She was in the four. So in different elements, they were in the four. In other elements, we were in the four. So I could say it was a collaborative effort. Then can you please maybe repeat your second part of the question?
The second question was just around the lease. Do you have a lease agreement for the free premises that you have? And if so, what is the period?
With regards to the lease agreement, it is something that was organized by the NPO Towers of Hope for their New Beginnings project. Towers of Hope is a well-established nonprofit that runs different projects within Bloemfontein, and TESA New Beginnings is one of their projects. So they are the ones who made the agreements with the interstate bus lines. We just then had to then ensure that they have necessary access to markets, and then we just upskill their leaders. So we're not necessarily involved in organizing the free workspace.
Thank you, Team University Free State. Your time has expired.
Thank you.